Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 461. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Well practiced and ready to go.
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Adam Vale.
How you doing?
Brett Murdoch. He wasn't ready this time. Wait, there he is.
What's up, people?
Hey, and Brian Majoma.
No, seriously, who did ask for a Madam Web film?
Yeah,
I want to know.
The same people that wanted to see the Marvels.
Who wanted Craven the movie?
Craven.
You want to see Craven?
Yeah, man. So we're back. No Chris action. Carlos is here and he's healthier. Carlos got hit with the Rona, people in New York. You know,
first time Rona. He made it pretty far.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it took 3 years, but it finally got me. It had to be New York.
Yeah, it got you, man. It got you.
Got me, but
glad you're back, man. Your taste buds just look good because you gotta have that New York food, you know.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't get any heavy symptoms or any of that crazy stuff that a lot of people did. So only got a slight fever, and yeah, doing good now. Almost 100%.
Yeah. You know who else is doing good? Adam.
Oh.
Adam, what did you secure today, man?
The limited edition Steam Deck OLED.
Oh shit.
I'm still confused. People, if you're in the chat, whatever, you're still trying to get it, go ahead, go through the process because it says you can still get it. But then once you go through it, it gives some people get a weird error message. It's out of stock. Other people say it just fails. I don't know what's up with it, but I had a hard ass time. I spent like 2 hours trying to do it right at launch, and it was a team effort. Somebody else helped me out, a buddy of mine. So, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So I still don't know if the site's broken or whatever, and it's saying that it's still available when it's not. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but
it's crazy because like I tried to buy it now. I could have bought it right there and then, you know. So maybe things are all right now.
Maybe, but they still didn't say anything, so I don't know. But yeah, it's good. I can't wait because that's how I designed my current Steam Deck. Hugo looks like that. He's got orange thumb caps, and I got the internal skin design that's from D-Brand. So when that got announced, I was like, "Shit, you took my style. You took
man,
my.
They owe you royalties, man."
This is how I designed my shit." And I was like, "Well,
so Adam, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
I got 2 answers."
So here's one of them. So what happens to Hugo? Is the new one going to be Hugo, or is it a different name, or what's going on?
I've been thinking about that for at least 2 days. It's been stressing me out because I don't know. A part of me wants to go with Hugo, but I see when I name these things, and this is why they tell you not to name like farm animals because you're going to eventually make it food or sell it, because you get attached to it. Well, with my electronic devices, that's what happens. I name these shits, and over time, then I get attached, and then I get a junk drawer full of fucking controllers and you know, the handhelds and stuff, because I named everything. Don't want to get rid of it. So I'm not sure. I've already had some offers of people that want to buy it, because remember, this one is modified. This one has a 1 terabyte SSD in there. So it's still a better deal than just to go get one of the older LCD ones.
You don't want to keep it in the family, yo?
I thought about that too. So I might do that. It really comes down to
weren't you going to give it to your kids, man?
Yeah. But they don't even play the Switch anymore. My son has evolved into full physical activity. So, meaning he likes to play ping pong, he likes to play soccer, he likes to wrestle, basketball. He only wants to do physical things. He doesn't want to play games. He doesn't want to watch TV, just physical. Weird. My daughter is big into art. She's always drawing, writing. You know, we have all these plans. She wants to publish a comic. So we're probably going to do that over the Christmas break. She's already got something written down, all this stuff. But so they're really stepping away from all of that at this point. Now, my son, he did come back to play Spider-Man too, you know, and he finished it and then he walked away just like that. I'm like, oh, you're going to play it again? Try to get all the suits? I don't know. Like, I was like, shit, is this it? Did I lose him already at this point?
Well,
like,
I mean, you know, like back in the day, you used to be pretty outside going too, man. Like you weren't.
Yeah. No, I wasn't always.
I feel like your kids are sort of reflections of you, right? So and your wife. So I feel like it's a little bit of that. I don't think they. To be honest, I think it's quite healthy that they're not constantly sitting behind a machine all the damn time. So
exactly, it's like that's why I can't bitch about it. But then that's when I brought up thinking about the Hugo situation. It's like, do I just sell it, or like you said, just keep it? Now, this is what I was going to say. I think it really comes down to what happens with Spider-Man 2, and if it comes to PC. And if it does come to PC, will eventually, because it's going to, like 2 years or whatever, would that even work on the current version Steam Deck, or would that be for the 2025 Steam Deck 2? If that's the case, then I would be like, shit, I should have sold Hugo. Give somebody else some time to enjoy it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But
my question is, Manny, were you leaving a... Oh, damn, I couldn't even ask the man his question.
Man, you ain't getting me.
I was about to get him too. Fuck. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, let's talk about some gaming stuff. The biggest thing of the week. Manny, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
All right, you're back. Good, because I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Were you leaving a subtle hint when you said, "Aren't you going to keep it in the family"? You're Adam's family.
No, I mean,
I was like, give me that shit, motherfucker. I'm your cousin. No.
I mean, that's the old days. I used to get Adam's old consoles and clothes back when we were kids. But no, I'm good. I don't need.
I think
give me Hugo. I'm gonna rename him to Clive, man.
Well, you know what could also help the separation with you and Hugo, right?
Well,
if you decide to change what Hugo looks like into something else,
he could
just become Turbo.
Yeah, maybe come on with it. That's a good idea. I was thinking about
that reference,
Yeah. I think the last thing now, because you brought up like getting a hand me, the last thing I gave you was a 750 NVIDIA GeForce card. Remember, I mailed that.
Yep.
I was like, hey, you're like, I don't have a video card. Here, take this one.
750, shit.
But then it was like a few months later. Then he went to visit you, Tony, and then you gave him a new video card.
I think I gave him like a 970 or something.
I inherit older technology. That's my deal. I have Tony's old monster computer in a couple of boxes. I got to put it into a box into a PC box.
Right, there's the heads. Apparently Twitch is acting up, but glad to see you guys in there. By the way, just speaking about that, I love being a fucking tech journalist. Some of the shit you hear in the office. So I just heard one of the tech Tom's Hardware guys just go, make sure if you're buying a graphics card, don't buy one that ends in 50. I was like, damn right. I wanted to yell up. Yeah, also make sure it doesn't start with 20, All right, let's start. So anyway, you already know what we're talking about tonight, people. The biggest story of the week was the Game Awards. The nominees went up and caused some controversy among the Xbox community because a certain game wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. I'm guessing you could guess what this game was.
Now, when I saw that, real quick though, remember that we saw something like this with the Star Wars game, and that it didn't hit the cutoff date or some shit. Was that the reason? That they gave a reason? Like, you know what I mean?
No, Star Wars game is on. No, it wasn't because nobody liked
it. No, not for this one. The last one, that Jedi Fallen Order. Remember? And like, that'd be great.
Remember, there's a lot of games that came out after. It's like Spider-Man, which are on here.
Yeah. Also, Alan Wake, which literally came out So those came out like not long ago. So there's no real excuses why Starfield wasn't nominated.
Yeah. By the way, I should say Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 pretty much dominated like everything. They're all over the place. But let's get into some of the nominees. Then we're gonna get into the controversy. So the nominees are 6 games in total. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, which is probably going to win. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Here's a little bit of a controversy with this one. Resident Evil 4, that's the remake. Super Mario Brothers, and Zelda. 2 Nintendo games. It's very interesting.
Oh, please, favoritism.
Yeah.
So obvious. No one's even playing that Mario game.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't talking because they're playing Spider-Man and it's still talking about Baldur's Gate.
now Starfield didn't get nominated for anything.
No, they did get one. They got nominated for some. They got some.
Yeah,
I think it was
they just got quote unquote snubbed for Game of the Year.
It's shit that gets awards or commercial breaks.
What did they get nominated for?
Let's look it up. But basically,
probably the RPG category.
Probably, yeah.
I think it's RPG.
Yeah. So basically, am I correct in just calling them Xbox fanboys at this point?
Yeah, I mean they're the only ones that seem to care.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
So their thing was, you got 2 Nintendo games, no Starfield. You got a remake. What the fuck, you know?
I agree with the remake. Like, what the fuck is that doing on there?
Yeah, and you know me, I love me some Resident Evil, but no, I'm sorry. No, I've been saying this because they've done this before. Remakes should not be. They could be in nominees, fine, but not for Game of the Year. You know?
Yeah. How is that? Yeah, like how is that? How? Yeah, like that doesn't make any sort of sense.
Is Dead Space remake on there?
It's nominated for something else, but it's not for Game of the Year. Let's just go through these if you guys.
There's probably action game, right?
Well, but like here's the other. Here's kind of where I come at it for at least from the Game of the Year. Like, okay, Starfield's not on there. I don't entirely disagree with that assessment, but also I'm not saying I entirely disagree. But like, Final Fantasy is not on there, even though I don't personally think it should be. A lot of people do. Same with Hogwarts Legacy. I don't necessarily think it should be in the Game of the Year.
Legacy, Brett, didn't get nominated for shit.
Well, and
I wonder why. Like, I wonder why. But we're not going to talk about that, you know?
Yeah. Do you ever like see like a contest happen where like the person you want doesn't necessarily win, and you're like, that's fine. They didn't really necessarily deserve it. But those other 2 people, they totally fucking deserved it. They didn't win either. So like this shit feels like. I don't know.
That's why Jeff Boy went out there and said the nominees are not chosen by himself, but they're chosen by people by 120 industry professionals throughout the whatever.
And not a single one nominated Hogwarts Legacy, one of the biggest selling games of the year.
Maybe they were outnumbered. Yeah. That's one thing I think of.
But we know why. We know why. You know.
Again, it doesn't matter like how many people are in this panel of judges. Like, if they all think the same way, then it's pointless. Yeah. You know, it's like saying like, oh yeah, I have 120 people here that all say that I don't know what's. Joe Biden is doing a great job. It's like, yeah, but if they all think the same thing, then it doesn't really matter because it's all redundant. You know, it's sample size bias 101. So hence, when I seen Jeff say that, I'm like, Jeff, it doesn't matter. You know, we all know that these people all think the same way. Hence why the same games get nominated for the same things every single year. So, you know, it's why there's like only ever like 7 games in like the Game Awards.
Brian,
like,
you will never
games.
Good man.
You will never see a true upset in the Game Awards. It will always be the same shit that you would expect to find there.
Yeah, Brian, just to prove your point, I went to the next category, which is Best Game Direction. It is literally the same as fucking Game of the Year, except for one game. It's literally the same fucking thing. It's the same games.
I'm gonna say my guess is this. Either if Alan Wake doesn't win the Game of the Year, it'll probably win one of the other categories.
Yeah. Here we go. Best Narrative. Most of the same games again.
It's all the same games, right?
Yeah, but the main difference here is Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy. Hold on.
I don't know. Hey, here's an interesting thing. A DLC getting nominated.
That's another thing.
Well, they're saying,
and I think Phantom. Okay, again, being objective here, or objective with my opinion, I love Phantom Liberty. One of the best games I played this year. It has no right to be here. It's a fucking DLC. That makes no sense. I mean, to be honest, if you want to have the best expansion category, sure.
Yes.
Let's go. But come on now. Come on. Oh, by the way, real quick, I got to read this. Jay Shep goes, we don't know that they all voted the same way. You're probably right about that, but I am with Brian that they all probably think the same way. You know?
What was,
they are of a specific persuasion, you know?
The category for the Cyberpunk, because
best narrative. Best narrative.
No, there was another one. It's nominated for something else, an ongoing game or some shit. And people
that's another one. I go,
it doesn't make any sense.
How the fuck is that an ongoing game? Because I got an expansion. Really?
Yeah,
that's the bar we're setting now. I've been saying this for 10 fucking years, right? These award shows are a crock of shit. They're completely fucking illegitimate. The only reason we even cover it is because one, we cover game news, so we got to cover this shit, and so we could dunk on it live every year. But this is a farce. This whole thing is crap.
No, I can't tell you who won last year. I don't.
Cyberpunk is the best ongoing game. It's a fucking single player game. What are you talking about?
Did they just make up that fucking category? Because I don't remember that category existing last year.
No, they've had it.
Ongoing has been.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Is that the one? Is that the one that Final Fantasy kept winning for like 3 years in a row?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I think even won it once at some point.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, I would even be okay with best ongoing game if you're like, hey, there's going to be several patches with new content coming down the road. Like, this is an ongoing thing. Like, but this is it for Cyberpunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the thing. Oh, I almost blew a gasket with that. Thank you, Brett. Yes, this is it. How is it an ongoing game? What is this literally the last fucking thing you're going to see for this game?
Yeah, the Division 2 should get
fucking
this
sense.
Which I'm gonna say there's a good chance that game is gonna win there because they want to give that game a gimme.
Yeah.
Because they were able to essentially go
fix
over
it.
Yeah. So what was it that they're probably nominated in the RPG category too, right?
Probably. By the way, I'm going through these categories. Alan Wake has just been stuck there the whole time.
Oh no, Alan Wake right now is a darling.
That's an industry darling.
Has anybody here played it? Has anybody here played it?
No.
I mean, the only person that I know is probably going to be playing it is Chris's wife because she's a big Alan Wake fan.
She's a big Alan Wake
fan. To be honest, I have no interest in playing the game, but I did watch all the stuff for it. So
I didn't finish the first one, and in fact, I think I bought you one for PC, right? I think I did get.
No, I don't. No? Did you get me Alan Wake for PC?
Yeah,
I can't remember. I thought it was Dead something or other.
Maybe that was it. Dead something. Forget it.
Yeah,
it was a side scroller thing. Yeah,
like a top down game, or was it side? I can't remember. Was that one? I played that a little bit.
Yeah. Best art direction. The only new games on here right now are Hi-Fi Rush and Lies of P. But I mean new. I mean games that haven't been already nominated.
Okay, so I want to know what is like. So Alan Wake got nominated for a lot of shit. And I'm not saying it doesn't deserve it. I'm just genuinely curious, like, what is like the groundbreaking art direction in Alan Wake? Like, is there something I'm missing?
I mean, it's like the way they sort of designed the some of the dark place stuff, and the sort of kind of not branching, but sort of like twisted sort of narrative stuff.
Do they have some really cool looking hellscape type stuff? I genuinely don't know. I'm asking.
I'm going to say this. It doesn't have a hellscape in it. It's literally places like real places like cities and forests and other stuff, but all twisted in like a surreal sense.
Okay, but that's really our direction.
But you're not really like it's not really that, like, in other words, it's the world that sort of twisted, but not like twisted to the point of like I would say more, a game that would has more. I would say better art direction would be a game like Lies of P, where there's literally just a bunch of like fantasy stuff and really things that need to come from some other different place or possibly hi-fi.
It's an open world.
No, it's very large environments.
Okay.
So like if you played Control, like how big that game sort of is, it's sort of in that level. Like they're big environments. But the thing about it is that they're big environments that sort of get reused over and over again.
By the way, Richard Bailey, he's in the chat. He says he's been playing Alan Wake 2 and he disagrees that it should be nominated for Game of the Year.
So why is
that by it, Rich?
I'm gonna say this. Like I don't really fully agree that it should be Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But I know these people, and I feel like they they feel like, I feel like the people that are nominating this. Yeah, I feel like that the people nominating this thing, they see it that way somehow. But I don't think I think it's a very good narrative and has very good stuff to it. But I don't think it's a game that deserves that. I think it really should really go to something like a legitimately, like really a game that's really pushing things would be Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. By the way,
Alan Wake.
I just went over the best scored music. Alan Wake is still there. The game's everywhere.
Oh, the music, I will say, is pretty awesome because they got that old Gods of Asgard group in there.
Yeah,
they're playing metal.
Now I'm clicking through these categories. Now I'm waiting to see when Alan Wake is not going to be nominated. Next category.
Oh wait, what were the other nominations?
We went through them already, but I'll go back.
You just Alan Wake said Alan Wake wasn't there.
No, I said Alan Wake was there. We went through these already. Best narrative.
I mean, like in other words, what were their nominations for the music? Oh, you didn't even go to that. You just said Alan Wake's not there.
No, I said it is there. I said Alan Wake's there.
Oh, yeah, you said it is there, but yeah.
The other ones were Baldur's Gate, Hi-Fi Rush, Final Fantasy, and Zelda.
Then I would probably give it to Hi-Fi Rush or Alan Wake.
And those. Then best audio. There's Alan Wake again. Hi-Fi Rush, Resident Evil, Dead Space, Spider-Man.
Well, why are the Xbox fans getting mad that Starfield didn't get there? Like Hi-Fi Rush is getting
showing up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, why are you mad? Why are you mad about the Starfield? But at least one of a Bethesda game is still getting nominated.
Well, these guys are selective. They didn't even play Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah. Best performance.
Fun game.
Okay. This is for acting. Best performance. By the way, this is how I'm too tech brained. When I saw this, I'm like, "Ooh, what?" Like I'm thinking gaming performance.
Oh, so
game performance. Yeah.
Let me guess. It's what's her face from Alan Wake, isn't it?
Yes. So I'll name him. The dude from Final Fantasy. Jedi Fallen Order guy.
Jedi Fallen Order guy.
Idris Elba. Some dude from Baldur's Gate, and Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Yuri Lowenthal. Yeah, I want to know how he got that name.
Who I would say would get it?
The girl.
It's either between the Alan Wake girl
and Idris Elba,
or Idris Elba. I think one of those two is gonna win.
Yep. All right.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. Innovation, accessibility. Who gives a fuck?
Innovation, accessibility.
I skipped that. Games for Impact, we don't care. Here we go. Best ongoing. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Was it Genshin Impact hasn't won one yet, but they keep giving it to Final Fantasy. So.
Yeah. Best support. I would say best community support. This is a category I'm not.
That's a new category. I've never heard of that one.
So this one for best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Destiny 2. Destiny 2. That's interesting. Nobody's playing that fucking game. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Here we go. Best indie game. Only one of these. I've only heard of one of these games only because Richard Bailey brought it up. I never heard of any of these fucking games. I'll name them though. Cocoon. Is that based off?
I've seen the movie with the old people.
Is that based off the movie Cocoon?
No, but it's from one of the people that worked with Inside and stuff.
Okay. Dave the Diver. Dredge.
Dave the Diver.
They said they're not indie because they're owned by Sony or some shit.
Oh, Dave the Diver guys?
It's like the studio. They did some shit. They were upset that they would put it in indie because they're like, we're not indie.
Yeah. Dredge. Sea of Stars. That's the only game I heard of here. And Viewfinder. Isn't Viewfinder a fucking feature on like smartphones?
Viewfinder's on a camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like a camera feature. Whatever. Okay, next. Best debut indie game. I don't care about any of these. Best mobile game. Trash. Who cares? Best
they have a mobile game category?
Yeah.
Is that the one they give away on the commercial?
Probably. Best VR AR cares. Oh, here we go. Best action game.
Okay.
These are pretty good, I must say. Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Brett, Remnant motherfucking 2. So
fuck yeah, recognition.
There you go.
Good for those guys, man. That makes me happy.
Hopefully it'll win. That'll be cool. All right, next. What do we have? Best action/adventure game. Hey, Alan Wake returns, people.
Action adventure.
Yeah.
Isn't that a horror game? They don't have a horror category, do they?
I'm not sure. Maybe they will be one. But there's you know, if that's a horror game, Resident Evil's on here too, by the way. Spider-Man, the Jedi game, and Zelda as best action games. Best action adventure, excuse me. Oh, here we go. Best RPG. Hey, look at that. Starfield. It showed up finally.
No, there you go.
So yeah, we got Starfield, Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P. Yeah, I guess that's an RPG. And Sea of Stars. What's up, bro?
I feel like that's like emotional whiplash for people right there because you're like, look at that, best RPG. Starfield. And people are like, oh, okay, finally gets nominated for something. Immediately followed by Baldur's Gate 3. Like, oh, and the thing that's going to beat it. Like,
that's a hard game.
Approximately like
it doesn't. It's like the toughest room ever, right? Like you literally like it's like so like it's like okay, yeah, Starfield. Oh my god, but it's like a huge heavy is there. It would almost be criminal if that game did not win that specific category.
That's why it's like Starfield is thrown in there. You're like, oh, good for that. Oh no, never mind, not good for them. That is just there's no way in hell Starfield beats Baldur's Gate. It's just not gonna.
No,
that's game on Game Pass.
Just universe.
Good enough for Game Pass.
Best service game.
Best service game.
Seeing this, it just reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons where, you know, like everybody in town, like for whatever reason, decides to square up and fight each other. And Mo gets pitted against Dredrick Tatum, their version of Mike Tyson. He's like, how'd I end up here? That's what I'm seeing here, you know, with Starfield versus fucking Baldur's Gate. It's like, how'd I end up here? All right, next up, what category do we have? Best fighting game. Wait,
Is this?
I heard this was controversial.
Excuse me. Hold on. Best fighting, not fighting game, just best fighting.
That was it.
I see what they're doing here because there's
It's not a fighting game. It's best fighting.
Yeah.
So it's gonna put beat 'em ups in there, isn't it?
It's the fucking brawler shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never heard of this one. God of Rock.
That town made up. Stop making up games.
I think they made it up too.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. I didn't know they made a sequel to that shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brett.
That's the world. This is the world we're living in, huh? Okay, that's fine. That's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl just got nominated for best fighting. Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I love the description here for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. But, you see how they fudge this shit because they can't, because some of these aren't fighting games.
Yeah, well, God of Rock is a rhythm game, a versus rhythm game.
That's a fighting game now. See, this is what I'm telling you about.
That's
these awards
a fighting
fucking
game.
Bullshit. Okay, Manny, look up Pocket Bravery. What the fuck is that?
Wait.
Adam, I think I'm making up games now. You know?
Yeah, I played Pocket Rumble, and there was only 2 bunch. I wonder if it's the same people.
There are only 2 fighting games in this category: Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6.
Pocket Bravery actually does look like a fighting game. It actually is a 2D fighting game.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Like proper Street Fighter type?
Yeah, it does. It's just they sort of look like chibi characters.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
It's pixel art and everything. So,
it's funny because remember Pocket Fighter, Manny?
Mm-hmm.
That was cheap.
Yeah, That's my guess. That's my guess for this game, where they're sort of like invoking that sort of like, it looks like a chibi SNK game.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
That's fine.
Dude,
that's a fighting
What's
game.
up, bro?
Some of this category sounds like have you ever heard like music lineups as you start getting older and you have no idea who they are anymore? Like
well, that happens to me every day.
Yeah, I have summer concerts. I'm like,
Sisters. You're like, what? I don't. Well, huh? Like this seems like the video game equivalent of that.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of games. I'm like, oh, that's a thing.
I experience this every day whenever somebody brings up a famous like influencer. I'm like, who? Like, who the fuck are these people? You know? All right. Who are these people? Next, best family game. Do we care about this?
By which they mean best game.
What does that mean as a family game? Like, can you go watch or everyone play?
For best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform.
WWE 2K23?
That's not on this. I'll go through them. Disney Island or Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Brothers.
All right,
Mario probably win. That's what Mario
win.
That's not a bad collection of things.
It's a Nintendo
I mean, you can
bracket.
consider those family games. Anybody can play it.
Best Sim strategy game.
Advanced Baldur's Gate in there too.
Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Again, like why again?
Why are reboots and remasters in this? They should be in their own category.
Was a year that dry? Fuck. Cities, Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. All right, good.
Also, Alan Wake.
Yeah, right. Just because, why not?
Alan Wake's a great strategy game.
Here's Brian's favorite category: best sports / racing.
Oh, okay.
This fucking
it's so sad you had to. It's so
of course,
sad you had to lump them together.
They always do this, bro. That's the fucking problem every year. Yes, because Forza Motorsport is comparable to FIFA. You know?
It's dumb. They're like, but it's a sport. I'm like, well, then you can add fighting too, because it's got MMA and shit.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
what's in this one?
Let's go through these two soccer games. I think I don't know
which one.
Oh no, excuse me. One soccer game and the rest are racing.
Which one?
EA Sports FC 24.
Yeah.
The FIFA soccer.
Yeah, F1 23. Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels, and the Crew Motorfest.
Okay. You know what? It's crazy. I did not. Did anybody here realize that Motorsport came out? That's the new one.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either. I was talking about it with my buddy. I was like, but that game didn't come out. They're like, yeah, it did. It's a while ago. It's on Game Pass. I'm like, shit, my wheel is collecting dust in the corner. I've been waiting for this fucking game.
Play that shit.
I'll play it this weekend.
Yeah. Next category here, best multiplayer.
Okay.
Fucking Diablo got 4, got 1. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, here's another one that's going to go. Everybody's going to get murdered. Baldur's Gate is in this, so it's probably going to destroy everything else.
And you do multiplayer in Baldur's Gate 3?
Apparently.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Anyway,
it actually has. Yeah. Doesn't it have couch co-op where you can have 4 people on the screen?
Well, that's the reason why you couldn't have it on the S. You know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other games are Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Mario. I didn't know Mario had.
Well, I'll wait till after to bring that up.
Okay. Best adaptation. Here we go.
Okay, adaptation of what?
Video games. So I'll go through them.
Adaptating what?
A game. Make it believe it's a game.
Adapting the game. I'll go through them. You'll understand. Castlevania. What's up, Brian?
Is this like a new category? Because I don't remember.
It's a movie category. It's a movie category.
So basically,
a movie category.
It's a movie category.
Okay, so I have a tinfoil hat. So Brett, can I borrow yours real quick?
Yep, here you go.
This category was made to give one game in particular an award.
I know.
Because the other guy involved in it is also getting an award.
Yeah,
and that's the first thing I thought when I seen it, and then I seen the nominees, and it's like, yeah, confirmed.
I agree with that. I didn't think about this theory until you said it, but I agree with it. Let's go through the nominees here. Castlevania Nocturnes. Gran Turismo. Yes, that actually came out.
Yeah, it did.
Super Mario Brothers movie. Twisted Metal, and the game Brian just mentioned, The Last of Us.
No, the Mario has to win. That Super Mario
Last of Us is going to win this shit because Neil Druckmann. I agree.
No.
I don't know, man. Like
he shows a lot of favoritism toward Mario, and Nintendo also ban him. So.
But Nintendo isn't getting a
lifetime achievement award.
Lifetime achievement award like Neil Druckmann is.
Yeah, they're gonna probably they're gonna give it Last of Us.
It's gonna be The Last of Us because they want Pedro Pascal and the girl showing up.
It's just so obvious.
And Pedro Pascal's gonna come out. Yeah, and then he's gonna come out to promote that he's Mr. Fantastic. I'm not making that up, by the way.
No, he is. He's a fantastic human being, also in real life.
I mean, I don't have an issue.
So blatant, man. I do because it's so blatant.
Well, no. I'm talking about Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
I have an issue with that as well.
I have a problem with that too.
You have an issue with that as well.
I have an issue with that too.
But
go ahead, Brian. By the way, whatever you're gonna say, Brian, I wholeheartedly agree with. Go ahead.
Okay, this category did not exist when we had other much better adaptation of video games, like when we had Edge Runners, Cyberpunk.
Yes,
great.
Edge Runners and Castlevania. The first few seasons of Castlevania weren't in there either.
Even Arcane, it adapted League of Legends.
Yep.
Really good, but yet nothing. But yet suddenly Last of Us comes out. Oh, make a new category, and yet again, as Tony has said, it's still sports and racing. That's how that is just how much these game awards, quote unquote, actually irk me. It's like it's not game awards; it's just favoritism awards at this point, and it's so blatant.
Or the nepotism awards.
Yeah.
Who actually watches it for the awards? For the majority of people just watch it for the commercials. That's it.
Even the awards themselves within the show are an afterthought.
Yeah. They come in after the fact and and do it. So
yeah. All right. Now, here we go. Most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, wait. Why wasn't Tekken 8 in the fighting game category?
It's anticipated. It's not out yet.
It's not out.
No. Remember, this anticipated.
Well, why are they giving awards to anticipated fucking games? It's stupid.
Because they're going to show commercials for it, and then he'll be even more hyped because they're like, "Oh, that just won that award."
Oh my god!
It's probably going to be Final Fantasy, by the way. That's probably going to win.
Okay.
Why?
It's because it's obvious. That's why. Okay. Here's a bunch of categories we could probably just skip through. Content Creator of the Year. Fuck that. Who cares?
Okay. So wait. Is it who is it this time?
Manny, you're not going to know any of these people. I guarantee you're not going to know these people.
Are they going to put zero punctuation on there?
Let's have fun. You know what? Let's have fun. I'm going to name these fucking people.
Name them and see who knows any of these people.
Let's see who knows these guys are. All right, let's do it.
And remember, keep in mind, I am not making up any of these names. All right.
Is one of them Sniper Wolf, please?
No, she's not a game. She doesn't do that shit.
All right.
She makes content.
Here we go. Iron Mouse.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of it.
Doesn't even know it could be a girl. Yeah. I don't know.
People Make Games.
That sounds made up too.
That sounds like a game studio.
I'm telling you that I'm not making any of this up.
No, we're not. I'm just saying what it sounds like. I'm not, neither here nor there.
Quackity.
No.
Quackity.
That sounds like a game.
Those are two different ones? Those are two different people?
Yo, man, I'm going to play some Quackity.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing some...
What'd you call me?
Yeah. I'm seeing I'm seeing some kind of human here. I don't want to misgender anybody.
Okay. It's a human.
Okay, next. Spreen.
What?
Spreen sounds like a fighting game character. Spreen wins.
Yeah. Another person that I don't want to misgender.
Okay.
And this is a dude.
Syphilis?
I'm going to spell the guy name. SYPHERPK. I don't know any of these fucking people.
Cypher PK?
Cypher. No, but it's one word. It's just one word.
Cypher pick?
That's well, yeah. There's no way it's PK player killer. So Cypher PK.
All right. I don't know these fucking people.
I don't know.
Not only do these not sound like people, these don't sound like words.
They don't.
They're made up. They're like hip hop rappers. They make up shit and they put it out.
It sounds like me trying to clear my throat, you know? Best esports.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Best esports game. Do we even should I read this shit? I'll go just for fun, because at least Counter-Strike 2, Dota, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant.
All right.
Nothing for Overwatch 2?
No Overwatch. Sorry, Gary. Here we go.
Overwatch.
Here we go. Look at all these people. Look at all these famous people here. Best esports athlete.
Okay.
Funny how some of these guys are out of shape and they're athletes, but I'm not gonna name. I don't know who the fuck these people are.
We don't need to name them. It's okay.
I'm gonna skip a bunch of these. Okay, I'm just gonna name the name of the category and keep moving on because we don't care.
Okay, go.
Best esports team. Best esports coach.
Okay. Wow, they never had that one. They never had that one as a coach.
You have to.
I'm sure they had a coach last time.
Yeah.
Because
they didn't.
No, they did.
It could have been one of them was relegated to the commercial break. Anyway.
Best esports event. They're gonna show all these fucking categories between commercials.
It's gonna be the Call of Duty one.
Oh, thank God, we're done.
That one gets a lot of views. All right. Because they give away shit.
So there's your nominees, people. You know?
Okay.
Horse shit. Absolute horse shit. But again, I'm like a parrot at this point. I say this every fucking year about this goddamn
we
show.
always say
when is this award show? When is this?
It's December something. December
7th.
or something?
They're out there. They've already released the winners of the golden joysticks, and they seem a lot more oriented towards what, the fan
actual
base
gamers want.
Yeah.
Not just what the industry wants.
Yeah, not even necessarily everything there I agree with, but like it seems a lot more, gamer focused.
Well, that's why Golden Joystick is also not televised. If it was televised, it'd be a totally differed story.
Yeah, because they need to bring sponsors in and all this other stuff.
Yeah, be sponsors. Jeff Keighley's got to do a couple favors for folks. Yeah.
So here's the thing that gets me, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I found nowhere in the Game Awards criteria for being the judges and whatnot that they had to play the game.
No, they don't need to have played the game.
I don't think so either, man.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think they don't say anything about that. Like, to be honest, it's like the Academy Awards. The Academy Awards, not everybody needs to watch the movies. Sometimes they just choose the movie because their kid liked watching it. And that's how they gave a vote. Or I heard of this person. It's why the hell like when you get Hayao Miyazaki film getting beat by some stupid ass CG shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to talk about the fallout that happened here. Fallout is not a reference pun. It's one of those Tony puns where I make a pun without realizing it. Starfield.
The irony there is everybody would have been way happier if some Fallout had happened.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Starfield got quote unquote snubbed for Game of the Year. The Xbox fanboys were not happy about this, and you saw all kinds of hilarity that day. I was glad I worked from home that day because I just saw Twitter just fucking exploding. They were going crazy, yelling at people, just going at it and stuff. And now
you just waded into it, started throwing rocks. I saw that shit.
Yeah, but Brett, you saw what I did though, right? I did my usual.
I did. I know. I said that's why I was like, here goes Tony hitting the bee's nest, and being like, why do bees got to be like this?
No, I knew, but I knew what I was doing this time.
Yeah, you did. You had the full bee suit on. You're like, oh no, toxic bees! Whack whack.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was like, hey guys, want to see something cool? And literally, I just tweeted out, as I usually do it to get the fanboys mad, a factual statement. I just tweeted out, Starfield was not nominated for Game of the Year, and that was all.
And you're like, make of that what you will. Yeah. And you're like, stop it, Tony, you fucking bastard.
No, but as usual, they weren't mad at me. They started fighting with each other.
Oh, so pretty much you literally just threw the smoke around the bee's nest, causing them to all.
And then I walked
out.
away.
And you walked away.
And then sometimes I look over around the corner and I go, shit, they're still going at it. Oh, they're still doing
He's like,
it.
yo, man, that motherfucker's getting stung.
Yeah. But yeah, the fanboys, yeah, they were all kinds of crazy, making videos as always, the copium spaces and shit. It was pretty funny. But now out of that, something has come out of this. The Xbox tax. It's something that came out today. I was very interested. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Xbox tax. So the theory is that every Xbox game gets deducted a point or two in reviews, and that is the Xbox tax.
I don't know what that means.
You don't think that's a thing?
No, I think that's stupid. I just think Xbox games just aren't that fucking good compared to PlayStation and Nintendo.
Did anybody from Bethesda or Phil Spencer say anything when this was announced?
If they did, I haven't heard it, so I don't know.
Because that's the only one that I would care about. Do they care? Maybe they don't give two shits.
Yeah. No, they don't care.
Yeah, but I go back. So Brett, you honestly think people go, "Oh, this is an Xbox game. I have to deduct a point or two." You think that's
but I think that they go, "Oh, that's a Nintendo game." They unconsciously give it a point or two, which is the same damn thing.
That's a good.
Yeah,
point.
I mean, there is definitely a Nintendo nostalgia point that gets granted to Nintendo.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I'll say Sony probably gets a little bit of a boost just for being everybody's favorite system. Come on, let's be real here. So, no, I don't think that Xbox gets points deducted from its games. I just think that it doesn't start with the benefit of the doubt. It starts from a place of let's see what.
I agree with that because of their track record. I agree.
Of course. I'm not saying it's not earned either.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they don't. Xbox does not get those rose-tinted glasses. Xbox games get fucking picked apart because they have, and I've talked about this before. Microsoft has a long road to recovery before they get back that that benefit of the doubt with consumers, right? So, they're going to be heavily scrutinized and not necessarily favorited. That's kind of okay. That's kind of what they deserve. So, I think that there's a bias there, but I don't necessarily think it's unwarranted 100%.
See, but again, they're fanboys, they're fucking idiots. If they had couched it like the way you just did, then I'll be like, okay, you guys have a point. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, it starts with a doubt. I mean, Sony had that same sort of doubt about it too when it came from the 3, right?
With the PS3,
when they were, with all the you literally even had what's his face, leader of Steam and Valve saying, PlayStation is a piece of shit. Why does anybody even care about this thing? You literally had an industry that was saying this was a piece of garbage. So I would definitely say it takes a lot. Gaben. Yeah, he said that. So in other words, you literally had a whole industry saying that this was a piece of garbage, and they had to literally prove themselves. So, and I think in this situation, it's the same thing. It's what do they have? And they need to really prove themselves as a viable platform to be a part of. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know if they get deducted points, but I know people are going to definitely be more critical about it.
So
it's
this
an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I don't think Starfield deserved a Game of the Year nomination. And I think that the anger that everybody's feeling, I'm upset about that, but I'm more upset that Bethesda, you didn't capture that lightning in a bottle. It's a decent game, but it's not a Fallout. It's not a Skyrim. It's not. And I'm sad that it's not as well, but it's not the Game Awards' fault. That's your fault.
Yeah. I want to read this because a lot of people have been throwing this at me, which is very interesting. So this is a review from Metro, UK publication. So this is the review for Hi-Fi Rush. They gave it an 80. This is what they said in the review for Hi-Fi Rush. The wasteland that has been the Xbox release schedule for the last few years limits the accolade we could give this game.
Yeah.
Do we not see the problem there?
Oh, yeah, that is a problem.
Do we not see the problem there? It's wait, what the fuck does the release schedule have to do with Hi-Fi Rush? You're reviewing a game, not the whole ecosystem. You know,
but that statement right there, is a it encapsulates it perfectly. And I think a lot of people you need to realize these things aren't in a vacuum. Like this is why brand. I don't want to say awareness. I can't think of the word here, but like
loyalty.
Brand loyalty comes into play. Like brand identity comes into play. Like when you think PlayStation, right? Like you think like first party, like quality story games. Like they're gonna have to rock the boat pretty hard and deliver some pretty mediocre products to kick you out of that predetermined mindset. And critics, a lot of reviewers, they're people, and not Tony tries real hard to put his bias up on a shelf and come at you from a real central point of view. Not everybody fucking does that. And even the people that try, not everybody can do it. So yeah, you're going to get people that are like, well, I can't give this Xbox game a good score because Xbox is just kind of a shithole wasteland right now. It's like, I'm going to disagree with that second statement, but I don't think that leads to the first.
I just wanted to put this out there. As a journalist, that statement really pisses me the fuck off. That's not you're reviewing the fucking, this is like the equivalent of these fucking idiots, says Kotaku with their PS5 review. Oh, but we can't really enjoy this system because of what's happening in the world, because of the president we have and the fucking virus. No, who gives a fuck about that? We're talking about the goddamn system, not about politics or what's going on in the world. I hate when journalists do this shit. It irritates me, You're supposed to review the fucking game, review the product, It's insane. Fuck the Metro, man.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, and I know about they suck. They always do this type of shit,
Well, it gets them the attention.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
that's probably why they did it. They
real quick, J-Shep, I wish Chris was here to answer your question fully because he could just rattle off everything. His question is, can you guys give us any examples of Nintendo or PlayStation games that got extra points just so we can be on the same page? I'm not going to say they gave them extra points, but they gave them some leeway. Literally every fucking Nintendo Switch game gets some leeway. These games look like shit, run like shit, and they always get 10 out of 10s. That's some fucking leeway right there. Legend of Zelda, both of those games, Breath of the Wild and the new one, are not good games. They got leeway. It's like it's pretty obvious there. But as for Sony, I'm a little hesitant. The Last of Us gets fucking leeway all day, every day. I'll give you that. But I don't think it's as strong as like the Nintendo bias. That shit is strong. And you see it all the time. Chris, has better examples, but I could name those two off the bat. The Nintendo Switch alone getting high scores like that is fucking ridiculous to me.
Tony?
Yeah, Tony? Go ahead. By the way, we lost Manny. Maybe he was offended by what I said,
Yeah, maybe replace bias with goodwill. Because I think like bias sounds a little...
Yeah.
Like, bias is a little hardline, and like I'm not going to deny that it's not.
Okay, not bias. They let things slide with Nintendo that they don't let slide with
other consoles. They get a pass. They get a pass. They definitely get a pass.
They already have goodwill. Like, yeah, it's not even a pass. Like, they already have goodwill. Like, you start from a positive place when reviewing a Nintendo game, and again, that's not unearned, right? But like, you don't walk into a lot of Nintendo games super skeptical. That's not the frame of mind. You don't pick up Zelda super fucking skeptical. You pick up Zelda with awesome rose-tinted glasses that make it better. Like, a game can be both great and nostalgic. It can be both of those things. Like, I love Zelda. When I went back into Zelda, the last one, I was like, bro, this feels kind of like Ocarina of Time. Like, there was that nostalgic pull. But then the game was awesome on top of that. But very rarely do you go into a Nintendo game, skeptical, like, wow, this Pokemon's gonna suck.
Yeah, like, Nintendo gets that grace. They absolutely do,
Yeah, like, stop framing it as, like, this negative thing where, like, you're looking at somebody being like, oh, Microsoft, you get less points because you're Microsoft. Although, to be honest, I have straight up heard people be like, they admit their bias that, like, Microsoft immediately makes them skeptical, wary, and it's probably not going to be very good. It's a Microsoft game. Like, and again, you build these reputations. That's why it's important. That's why I'm a little frustrated, because I feel like Sony has been riding their reputation, not necessarily building up on it. And this is why. This is a perfect example of this is why, because like this is a slow moving thing. This moves at a glacial speed. Microsoft is going to have to do probably 10 years of work to reverse the goodwill on, reverse the brain damage that they've done. Still, from this point, as they're turning it around, they may still be like a decade out. So it's something that it frustrates me and makes me nervous, because when you start abusing this shit for years, when it finally turns on you, man, it's so tough to get that back.
Yeah, and they literally had an entire generation of just L's. So that's going to be tough, Yeah,
so Sony lost that goodwill at one point, and it took them forever to get it back. Like, I'm still hurt.
It took an
entire generation to get it back, yeah.
It took them a whole generation for that one.
Yeah. Go get a second job. You want to play this console.
How did they live that one down? It literally had to be by example. So,
and that's what Xbox is going to have to do. Something on that level, just release a bunch of good games back to back, but they haven't even been doing that,
it took them out. Yeah. Starfield, I think, is a good game. I don't think it's game of the year, but I think it's a solid, by any other standard, it's a pretty solid entry.
I think it's upsetting a lot of people that it didn't even get nominated. Even if you don't think it's going to win, it should at least be nominated because of the amount of money, time. It is a AAA game, and nope, you're not even considered.
Hold on, Blitz, you're misunderstanding what we're saying. He said just because Xbox can't deliver is a dumb reason to say the others get special treatment. No, we're saying the others get quote-unquote special treatment because they've earned it. That's the difference. They've earned it. Just like Microsoft has earned the bad reputation it has. Nintendo, I have my feelings about Nintendo, but generally speaking, they release games that fucking work. And Sony releases games that people generally like. They have good reputations. We're not trying to say that, the other guys get special treatment because Xbox sucks. No, we're saying they get special treatment because they've earned that shit. That's what we're saying,
Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. You go to the store, right? You go to the store, you're picking up some cheese. Boom, there's Kraft cheese right there. You're like, okay, I can get Kraft cheese. Or I can get the best choice cheese. Honestly, the best choice cheese is probably the same thing as the Kraft cheese, but you're not going to think about it when you open that Kraft. Just throw it on your fucking sandwich. Boom, good to go. You don't have to worry about it, right? You open that best choice, you're like, maybe try a piece, something like that. You walk into it kind of hesitant. It may be the same thing. You may get the same experience, but you kind of arrive there different ways. And as a tattoo artist, I deal with this all the time. One of my favorite sayings is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And when it comes to say the tattoo version of that cheese, are you going to get the best choice tattoo? No, because even if it could be the same thing, you're still going to question it. The power of suggestion super influences the decisions that you make and the way that you see things. Right? I've taken stencils completely off and put it back on the exact same way just so people don't think it looks crooked. It was never crooked, but people would always be a little bit concerned that it would be crooked, right? So they'd walk into the tattoo concerned that something might be wrong. We're already in a bad place. Now they're going to start nitpicking. Whereas if you alleviate their fears and they walk in and they're confident with it, then they're happy with it. The same fucking tattoo, depending on the point of view, will have somebody come back or not come back for a touch-up or a whatever. Right? Perception and context are super important. And it is so hard to look at things without context. I'm looking at you, fanboys. You want to talk about how hard it is to look at something without context? Try looking at Xbox outside of your context of them sucking. Right? I can hear it in the questions that some of you guys asked that, you're not very good at it either. So it's not so hard to believe.
Hold on, I got. There's some comments here. Okay, maybe we're not stating our cases clearly here. First up, Blitz says Starfield shouldn't be nominated just because we've said multiple times Starfield should not be nominated for Game of the Year. We've said this many times on the show already, guys. And then J-Shep says Xbox games are the same as PlayStation and Nintendo games. We already said they're not. We said this already, guys. Come on, please. What are you doing to me?
It seems, again,
we didn't say that. We said they've earned that reputation because they're releasing a bunch of shitty games for a whole fucking generation. We just said this, guys. Come on. You know?
Exactly. Are you guys, come on, so take a second and listen and stop just listening to just one word.
Yeah.
Come on.
And we already, again, I'm going to say it again, clearly, Starfield should not be nominated for Game of the Year. There. Is that clear?
Does anybody disagree?
Does anybody in the panel disagree with that statement?
We only played for 1 hour. That says enough.
Then again, I haven't played it, but the thing about it is like, judging from the
Adam
folks
didn't
that did
say
play
that.
it,
Hold on. Blitz says that Adam said that it shouldn't have been nominated because of budget. What? Adam never said that.
I didn't say anything about budget.
No, he said it shouldn't be nominated because it sucks. That's what Adam said.
I just told you right now that I only put 1 hour into the shit, and then that's it. I don't care.
The thing about it is, it's like
hold on! Oh my God! Again, I love you guys in the chat. You guys are you are the reason we're here, but you're driving me up a wall right now. Okay, J Shep goes. Xbox.
I think they're doing it on purpose.
No. These guys are real. They're not fake like these fucking idiots on Twitter. Xbox has been making games for 22 years. Not one Game of the Year nominee. That's the media's fault. No, it's their fault. It's Xbox's fault for releasing shit. It's not the media's fault.
I mean,
I hope I don't have to repeat that again. We will listen to it back later. I'll say it again. Xbox has been making shit games for a fucking generation. That's why they've earned that reputation, guys. Come on. I don't know how many times I've repeat this thing.
Yeah, I mean, like
the only thing I said about it was that
all of us.
Yeah, the only thing I said is that the guys that are all pissy are probably just upset that it's not nominated. I didn't say I was upset that it's not nominated.
Oh, the fanboys on Twitter, they're going to be, they're going to be stupid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's what they're really pissed about, that it wasn't even nominated because they see it as a AAA game. Yeah. So they're like, then it should have been. But that's them.
Well, just because it's a AAA game from Microsoft doesn't even mean that it deserves a nomination for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Like I understand where people make that bridge, but like that's something that makes me a bit furious. Like, because I'm right in the middle. I'm like, nobody is willing to see this thing from the center, right? Like, it's not that it's a shit game. It's not that it was terrible and we should just burn Bethesda Studios to the ground now and call it a fucking day. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. They managed to make a fully fledged AAA game in the vein of what they do that feels disjointed and not connected and satisfying, and it's missing some of the secret sauce, and that's unfortunate. But is it better than some of the other games in the same kind of quality? Yeah, like what was the fucking other game from Obsidian?
Which one?
Wild something. Yeah, it's
Outer Wilds or something.
Outer Worlds. Yes, like is it better than Outer Worlds? Oh God, yes. Like by leaps and bounds. Like a ton. I would play this game 10 times over before I played Outer Worlds again. And I liked Outer Worlds. It was fun. It had good writing, but this in terms of just raw satisfaction, head and shoulders above that game. But man, there's a lot of really great games that have come out this year. Does it deserve a spot in the Game of the Year? No, it fucking doesn't. And just
I don't know how many times we have to repeat this.
Well, and to the other side, I say like, look, just because Bethesda released a AAA game does not automatically mean it deserves a spot in the Game of the Year awards. And if you think that it does, you need to take a real hard look on what you think fair judging is. Because the idea that something deserves to be in an award show just because of its pedigree is kind of the idea that we're fighting against and the problem here.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go through this. J Shep, man. I don't understand how many more ways we could say this, man. But you're still my homie though, for life. It's not that I don't understand. I'm just trying to figure out why are we talking about Xbox's reputation when we agree that the reputation doesn't matter if their games aren't that great. But again, going back to what Brett said, right? If you're reviewing an Xbox game, you may not be coming at it from like, oh, this is going to be awesome because there's like 10 years worth of shit. But at the same time, you still need to be fair to that game. But I understand it. Just like if you're reviewing, for not for me, obviously, but if you're a game reviewer, you come in at a Nintendo game, you're gonna generally be like, oh, this is probably gonna be as good as the other ones. That's what I'm saying. Okay, goes. Let me finish. J-Shep goes, either they're being treated differently or they're being treated fairly. No, I'm saying each company is being treated the way they deserve to be treated. They've earned their respective reputations. Understand?
Can I throw it out this way? Hey, J-Shep,
fairness here, It's just how it is. Yeah.
I would not put you on a panel because you are a perfect example of what we're talking about. You will not be able to approach an Xbox game with zero bias because of the reputation that they've put in your head and the bad taste that they've put in your mouth. That is exactly what I'm talking about, and I hear it in your questions. Like, the answer to this question lies in the mirror, man. Like, do you not hear it when you're asking these questions? Is kind of where I'm coming from. Like, because, dude, you've been on the show for a minute. We know your stance. We know your point of view. And, like, you seem to be bending it really hard not to understand that, and that in and of itself is kind of the proof that we're talking about.
We're talking about, it reminds you of when Metallica, when they made that album with the orchestra and did this whole thing. Yeah. A lot of outlets just blew them off. They're like, oh, metal band trying to do this. Did you even hear it? Did you hear the work that went into it? It's amazing. They did a great job. But no, it got that stinker. Oh, it's just a heavy metal band. Let's not even think about it. So it's that type of deal. That's what we're saying. Like, some people, they're like, oh, they already fuck up, whatever. And just like that Metro review. It's like the guy was already blowing that game off just because of the track record. Yeah, it has a fucking Xbox. That's a shitty track record. It doesn't mean that eventually they may produce something that's quality.
Yeah. Well, and separating from yourself from that is hard. It's a talent. It's the reason we have professional reviewers. That is the difference between a bad reviewer and a good reviewer. And it's the reason that we have professionals. The ability to separate yourself not only from your personal feelings of the brand, the story or whatever, but the previous ones. Like, you can't give a movie, the third movie in a trilogy, a good review because the first two were good. You have to completely take all those feelings and put them inside in a little box, and then review the third movie completely independent. And that's hard. That's tough for a lot of people to do.
But Brett, and Brett, you're 100% right about that. But I also want to add that if you saw the first two movies and they were bad, you can't be blamed if you go into the third one thinking it's probably going to be bad too.
Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm saying, like, this is normal human psychological behavior, right? Like, it's just kind of standard. Fighting against it is tough. We should be fighting against it. I'm not excusing bad behavior. I'm just recognizing where it comes from.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting stuff right there. There's something else I was going to say, but I lost it. All right, good discussion. Let's move on here. Speaking about Starfield, let's stay on that topic here. Starfield's player count slips below Skyrim on Steam. Man,
it's just not.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Below Skyrim.
Skyrim has this sort of like every other Bethesda game has a sort of magic that they've lost in this one, and I'm not entirely convinced you couldn't get it back through. Like, I think they could No Man's Sky it back together and make it a little bit more satisfying. Like, to cut out some of the fucking.
Are people finishing it? Is that what it is? It's like, because remember, a lot of people were finishing it before, within 35 hours or some shit. It's like not that long.
Even then, that's indicative of a problem for a Bethesda game because most people don't just finish it. If you're not getting grabbed by side quests and pulled out of what you were doing, like if this game does not give you ADHD, then it doesn't really feel like a Bethesda title. Like if you can just play from beginning to end in the main storyline without getting sidetracked. That's not a good sign for this type of game or this series of games.
To flip to sort of somewhat bring it back to the question that some of the chat seems to have an issue with. Do you think that also this game being judged the way it is being judged also has to do with the previous reputation of Bethesda themselves?
Like, people say they got a pass, a Bethesda pass.
Can you? Yeah, like I mean, like obviously there was the Bethesda pass because of how much a game you can how much in the game their games that you can do. But here's the question: like this game compared to the other games that they have made, there's a certain type of expectations when you say a Bethesda RPG. Now this doesn't seem to be living up to that. Apparently, and is it difficult to judge this game based off on its own merits without thinking about the previous games that they had created?
So
I would say, go ahead.
So here's the weird part about that. I think it kind of comes into, so like you sit down, you start playing it, and you're like, this game is it's not as engrossing as the other ones. But then where the context comes in is you're like, okay. You start judging the pieces. You're like, do I have the stories and the quest line? Yeah. Do I have the combat? Yeah, combat's better. You start holding up each piece and looking at it and comparing it to like other Bethesda games. You're like, no, all the pieces are the same. All the pieces are here. It's not that there's the parts aren't here, and it's not that the game is broken. There's just something about the flow of the game that just it doesn't work. It doesn't lead. The gameplay loop is not where you want it to be. It just kind of pulls you out of the story a lot, which then kind of leads to breaks in attention, which lead to like you not being engrossed. It's the opposite of compelling. So I think like where the comparison comes in is once you realize you're like, this game just not grabbing me, then you start comparing to kind of try and figure out where they went wrong. But there's not an obvious piece that's broken or missing. So I think that's why a lot of people are like, they're not super happy with it, but they're not really hating on it super hard because there's not really a whole lot to hate on other than this vague, it didn't grab me the way they normally do.
Do you feel like that it might be sort of also a brand fatigue too?
Yeah, I think so.
Where in other words, it in fact is a lot of the things that a lot of the parts of what goes into a Bethesda game, glitches and all, but maybe the gaming environment has sort of has a way of looking at these other titles with rose-colored glasses in comparison, and now it's sort of worn off.
I would almost say it's the opposite. Like I think a lot of at least for myself, like I wanted that Bethesda experience. Those mechanics were what I was looking for. The problem is like it feels like how do I explain it? So it feels like you're going to a restaurant and you sit down and this restaurant has a kitschy little design where it brings all your food out like on the appetizer, like tiny single little teacup plates on a train, and you just kind of take all the little plates until you're full. Like, and that sounds like a good idea, but then the problem becomes like, oh, cool, a tiny plate of cheese fries. I love cheese fries. Finish the cheese fries. Now I'm just kind of like sitting there until the train comes back, and like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get a burger now, and you pull off a burger and you eat that, and you have to fucking wait for the train to come back around. And now you get a milkshake. Like, yeah, you still had a burger and fries, but it was delivered in the most unsatisfying, disjointed way possible, and it wasn't a satisfying meal. If you would have just given me the fucking burger, fries, and milkshake in the beginning, that would be great, because maybe sometimes I could like to, eat some of the fries and eat some of the burger. You kind of spreading it out like that, it loses its magic, man. It loses its whimsy, and I'm solidly convinced that that's the problem. And a lot of people will tell you in kind of a, not a super developed way. They'll just be like, oh, no, man, there's just a lot of menus in it. Like, yeah, I feel like that's saying the same thing, just a little less fleshed out. Yeah, there's just a lot of menus in it. There's a lot of waiting in it. Every time I want to do something, even if they make fast travel easy, I gotta fast travel, man. Like, there's nowhere for me to wander except for giant planets that have fucking nothing on them. And it's great they're procedurally generated. They look like big wildernesses full of nothing.
Maybe the Bethesda formula doesn't work in space.
I think the Bethesda formula doesn't work when it's diluted. I'm really convinced, like, because if you took that Bethesda formula and stuck it in like a night city in a smaller, more compact area that feels more lived in, I feel like it would work so much better. But You spread everything out so much to get this grand sense of scale that you broke it.
Okay. So in other words, if let's say Starfield was on a sci-fi game on a planet, right? You took every single one of those spread out elements and stuck them onto one specific planet, it probably would feel a lot more cohesive than just going to the other side of the universe to do this mission, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
So like, and yeah, like the problem is like going to go to a solar system and there's like 8 planets there, one of which might be habitable that has, you know, it's not really super habitable, that has like an abandoned geology lab with it, which is, you know, kind of a cut and paste of other abandoned geology labs, which to get narratively, that actually makes sense to me. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of that way in the real world too. That may be a bit of copium. Maybe it's one of those like every single one should be, you know.
Maybe the idea of putting it into like multiple galaxies was probably an issue, and maybe instead of keeping it in, you know, doing it in the multiple galaxies, choosing one galaxy to have it with a bunch of planets that have multiple things on it. Because like to find a cool thing, you just got to sort through so much kind of emptiness that it doesn't feel. It's not like Skyrim where you're gonna just wander through the wilderness and be like, cool, a cave. It's not like Fallout where you're like gonna wander down the road and see an abandoned building. There's no wanderlusting to it. You specifically have to be like, and now I'm going to this planet. And I don't like spending time in star maps. There might be some heavy-duty Star Trek fans out there who love charting courses in star maps. I am not that person. So I just end up quick hopping everywhere. But you're not going to stumble into adventure quick traveling places. You're going to efficiently knock stuff off your list. That's the least favorite way to play any... Like if I'm playing Fallout, that's my least favorite way to do it. I like to do a little bit of wandering. That's where some of the fun comes in. So I think it's lemonade is good when you dilute it to the point where it's just barely lemon tinted water. Not so good anymore. Okay. It's got all the same stuff in it, but just not the right ratios at the right time. Okay, so I'm guessing that might be that seems like it sort of might be the sentiment, but with why it's losing its sort of losing its favor, in the gaming world, right? Because it's just like it doesn't feel like one cohesive experience. It feels like a disjointed experience that has the things that would be in a Bethesda game, but diluted to the point where it doesn't feel connected.
Yeah, I mean, my criticisms with him are probably a little bit different than most people because I'm a little bit more hardcore RPG. Like my criticism with it is like I am really hating the reductive nature of Bethesda RPGs. It feels like it gets a little more shallow each time. Like now we're down to the point where like, oh cool, so I get to equip a spacesuit. Not gloves, not pauldron, not boots, not pants, nothing like that. A suit. I have an outfit. My gear comes in an outfit. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I can also put on a hat. But that is fucking bullshit coming from, the era of RPGs. Or like even Baldur's Gate. Or I can put on like fucking a ring, a belt, glove, hat, like fucking a little fucking talisman or something like that.
Or you can wear nothing at all.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
nothing at all.
In this one, it's hey, we have gear, but we've kind of reduced it to here's a space trucker outfit, and here is a miner spacesuit. You're like, I want to be able to like customize my own spacesuit. That would have been cool. And the building mechanics in it. The fucking the building your ship,
the shipbuilder.
Yeah, like I get that you want to bring it down so that every asshole can build a spaceship. But here's the thing: there's a gulf between people like Tony and I, right? Like, and if you try and build a building system that Tony's going to like, I'm going to tap out, and that's exactly what fucking happened here. Like, don't get me wrong, I spent forever building a giant space pirate ship that looks like an old wooden ship. But was it super annoying? And did I have to like work around a system that automatically wanted to place doors, but ended up just putting doors in really awkward spots? Like everything about it is you made the building more shallow, and in it you kind of ruined the building, which is boggles my mind because it's the same way for fucking settlements. And if you look at any survival game, there's a very simple way that they do it. They're like, hey, here's a foundation, and here's a wall, and here's a ceiling. Now you can make all kinds of different things with that combination. But this thing, no. Now we're moving on to modular habitats, and here's a big round section that you plug in. And it just feels like hooking big chunks together, which takes all of the creativity and fun out of it. I can make something cool that I can fucking show off on the internet. I don't give a shit to see what other people have done on the internet, because it's all mundane, boring, the same shit. Whereas if you pop into Fallout 76, I had built a crazy-ass, like, cyberpunk road in Fallout 76 with, I call it Little Detroit, an entire, like, red brick inner neighborhood underground. Like, I built some crazy shit, and I've seen some crazy shit be built. And by reducing the building mechanics the way that you have, you've cut out the mimetic nature of it. Nobody's posting videos of the way that they built a cool base. They're trying to, and not getting any engagement, because you fucking ruined it by trying to pander to the lowest common fucking denominator. That's my issue with the game, and that's why I don't think it deserves fucking Game of the Year. That's probably not why other people are mad at it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I want to read some stuff Blitz said here. I think he has some good insight. I think as soon as Starfield got yanked off PlayStation, it was never going to be your typical Bethesda long legs game. While PC is the biggest platform for it, PlayStation keeps it in the conversation. That's my opinion anyway. Being exclusive shone way too much light on it and raised expectations too high. It became the great hope for a platform and ended up being too familiar. There's some good, interesting observations there.
I don't entirely disagree with that.
Neither do I. That was good. Good stuff there.
I kind of disagree with that because the numbers. Like, I'm guessing that people don't know that this is one of the best-selling games this year. I think it's like number 7 or something.
Brian, I got a question about that though.
Yeah, go on.
You think you know what I'm going to ask, right?
No, I don't.
What color your underwear?
Best selling,
Black,
or best engagement.
Best selling is like on
actual sales, right? Like not like Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to know.
Which says something, Tony, because there's also a bunch of people that download it for free. So if it's best selling, or if it's selling this well, on top of all those free copies, it does say something.
That's true. That's good. Yeah, that's why I wanted to again. We talked about this before. I was like, how are we going to be able to judge this game's success? But if it's sold actual physical copies, that's good. Or digital copies too, obviously.
People bought the game.
Or digital copies,
Yeah.
That's why I kind of just disagree with the idea that because it's not on PlayStation, it kind of sealed its fate. It's like, no, it still did gangbuster numbers despite being on Game Pass, which is, again, fascinating to me because, again, the whole narrative was always, it's on Game Pass, so it won't sell as much. But again, we are seeing stuff to the contrary.
Yeah, so
I also think that the also since then it's also I feel like because those games are so beloved behind the PC gaming realm. I think a lot of people still want to support it. Obviously, still want to. They don't want to opt to just go into the Microsoft ecosystem to get that game that they want.
Yeah, but this goes back to what Brett was talking about. It's like there's something kind of fundamentally wrong with the game. That's why no one's talking about it anymore. So I think those sales just came initially. People were excited. Oh shit! Bethesda game, it's fucking dope.
Has it? Has it? The question
again,
is,
Skyrim has more players now. On Steam. So yeah, I think there's just something fundamentally wrong with the game.
Well, it goes to show you how we keep talking about how like a game will sell on its predecessor's success.
Yeah,
and so just because a game sells well doesn't mean it's successful. You kind of almost need to wait for the next game to be released to see how truly successful the previous game was.
Yeah. Although the predecessor to this was Fallout 76, so.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that goes different.
The Bethesda reputation in general, I think, is selling.
If you remove Fallout 76, then the predecessor was Fallout 4.
Yeah, and that was pretty well received. Here's the thing: because of this, I don't think Bethesda's next game automatically gets the the past, the good graces that we've talked about.
That's done now. That's done now.
Which is kind of the theme of which we were talking about. Like, should people be looking at these games in a vacuum? Sure. Does the fact that Starfield that it did live up to its success, will that affect people's expectations of the next game? Also, yes. Do we want to live in World 1? Yes, but we live in the real world, which is fucking world, number 2. So,
yeah,
it shouldn't, but this is going to affect the reception of their next mainline game.
Yeah,
watch.
That's true.
I'd say to have look at the numbers, because I think that's always fun. And the news article that you have, Tony, when was that published? Out of interest.
Let's see. Skyrim player count. That was published on November 13th. So like 4 days ago. Okay,
interesting, because looking at Steam now, it gives two numbers. It gives the current player count and the peak today.
Yeah.
So, hold on, let me just go back up. Yeah. So, one thing I've noticed is that the two games are actually very close and keep swapping depending on which numbers that you look at. So, in terms of current numbers now, Starfield is about 300 players behind Skyrim in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
But in terms of peak today, Starfield has 500 more peak today than Skyrim. So this is why I don't like these whole articles of like, oh yeah, it slipped below this and this date. It's like, yeah, they alternate.
Yeah, that was
yesterday. Yeah, and I think you're right, Brian, because Eurogamer, this is from 1 day ago, and with the same headline,
I think I want to put the context too, like.
No, hold on, Brett. I just feel like articles like this are rather pointless because they don't really say much apart from, oh, it slipped below this number. It's like, okay, we know that they do. It's like when an article comes down and says, oh yeah, the player count or the sales of this game have dropped by 70% since launch. It's like, yeah, they all do that. It's like saying water is wet. It's like at some point it might slip below, and then at other days it might slip ahead.
Yeah, like, nothing stays on the top forever.
By the way, this is actually one of the reasons I brought this topic up. I was waiting for one of you guys to bring this up. Like, I don't like these type of articles. But Brian, to your point, literally articles with the same basic headline have been published every single day of this week. Every single day, the same article every single day.
Probably because one person published it, and again, you know how the media does. Like, one person will publish an article,
that's trending. Do that.
Everyone else just does the same article.
Everyone's talking about that.
And again, to borrow the tinfoil hat, this could be just more ammunition as to why the media hates Xbox titles. Because again, like, how often do you see the same thing for PlayStation titles or Nintendo? Well, there's no Nintendo numbers, but still, like, how many times have you heard, oh yeah, Spider-Man numbers have dipped below this number? Or,
no, you're right.
Ratchet & Clank numbers have dipped below this number. Like, you never hear those, even though, again, they're all on Steam. Numbers are publicly available. Just go on the stats page. There's nothing. But yet, when it's an Xbox title or a really noticeable one, it's article headlines.
Yeah.
Again, the question
real quick, because Jason, I got to clarify. Jason, I don't think it's fair to question so many people's integrity. Tony is a reviewer who thinks Nintendo games are only for kids, but I have no doubt that he reviews with integrity. We're not saying that. We're saying that they're chasing a trend. That's not out of integrity. That's how you pay your bills when you're on a website, So we're not saying with that what they're. I don't want to speak for Brian. I'm not saying they lack integrity. I'm saying, they got to chase this trend because they got to pay bills. So I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Brent is.
And if it's news, then they'll report it. It's like, hey, what's going around?
Because if your boss tells you, hey, this is trending on Google, you got to write about it. Who are you going to say no? You're going to do it,
I think the article is a fucking prime example because
because it's a million websites talking about this.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they get traction, I think, is very telling. Like, here's where I think that the unfairness pops in. Like, bro, Skyrim is one of the best-selling, most highly acclaimed video games of all time. Here's the real. Starfield is never going to reach that. Nothing is ever going to reach that. Like, the same way Red Dead got nowhere near GTA numbers. Like, do you know how hard it is to follow up on one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time? One of the most fan-favorite games of all time? Nobody's doing that. Like, you can't just come out and do that again. That's not how that shit works. And of
Can
course,
I just add to your point, Brett, real quickly?
Yeah,
just because I think it's funny. Looking at the numbers on Steam, again, publicly available, Red Dead play count at this moment in time is 1/3 of GTA 5, and the peak is 1/3 of GTA 5. So it's literally a minor fraction.
Yeah.
Damn. Look at this. This is from a day ago, Brian. Oh, excuse me, 10 days ago. Red Dead Redemption 2 Steam sales are suddenly surging, putting it above GTA 5, but Rockstar has abandoned Red Dead Redemption 2 for GTA 6.
But it's always on sale now. That's the other thing.
And the game sold well over 50 million copies,
And then it got verified for Steam Deck. That was a big deal because for a while it wasn't playing great.
What games sell 50 million copies? You know? That's like beyond Call of Duty numbers. That's crazy, you know?
I'm just curious, Brian, like, and I'm sure that they're higher, but like, what is the new Spider-Man's numbers compared to Skyrim?
Okay, give me a second to find it.
Yeah, it's not on Steam though, so yeah.
It's not a Steam one, so you can't.
Oh, fuck, you can't. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Steam.
The only one you can really do. The only one you could really do is because there's because Sony doesn't share those metrics, and neither does they don't share those metrics.
And you can't compare it to Baldur's Gate because that game has legs.
Yeah, you can't really put it on Baldur's Gate because Baldur's Gate also has the Steam is also available on PC, and they have those numbers out there. Yeah, one thing that Xbox and PlayStation don't do.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
They don't tell you how many. They don't tell you how many players are currently playing their games, or how many people own it.
The only
thing they'll give is how much profit the game did, and then for Xbox is how much engagement. On their Game Pass platform.
Here's an interesting fact. I cannot find any PlayStation title in the top 100 most played games at the moment on Steam.
Makes sense.
But they sell well, though. They sell well on there. That's the thing. It's always on sale, and people buying them. And
no one's playing it.
Yeah, no one's playing. They're all old games,
They collected them.
Yeah,
makes sense.
A lot of them are single player stuff.
But then, hold on. But then there's games like Skyrim on there. That's an old game and a single player. There's even Left 4 Dead 2. There's even Monster Hunter World is on there. There's Sims. Well, that's free to play, so I don't count that.
Brian,
yeah, well, Skyrim is a perennial favorite. That's always going to be on there. Just like fucking...
no.
Yeah, what's up?
What? There's a game called Bloons TD6. I have no idea what this game is. It's in the top 100.
I don't even think the developers have heard of that game,
Here's the reason.
What's up?
Because PlayStation games don't have legs. You play them for 18 hours, you put them away, you never play them again.
I don't disagree with that.
Here's one. Halo Infinite is in the top 100 most played games on Steam.
It's an online game, so there you go.
But yet, no PlayStation games are on there.
Because they're short. And that's fine. That's okay. But, like, that's honestly one of the reasons I'm like, bro, like, I value a game I play for 400 hours more than a game I play for 20 hours. That's just me, though.
Yeah, Blitz says, don't we always hear about Xbox engagement for their games? Then we get the headlines of Halo Infinite reaching 20 million players. Yeah, we did.
You did?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It. We're not seeing it. This is up in front of us.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff there. I felt there was a point I wanted to make, but whatever. So just a couple of silly things before we wrap up here. Xbox is selling a Willy Wonka console. It's edible.
Okay.
The console's
edible.
The
controller. Just a controller. Just a controller.
Wait, the controller's edible?
The controller's edible, yeah.
Yeah, it comes with, it's a chocolate thing, like a bunny. It's a thing. It's a chocolate controller.
So it doesn't work.
It's a chocolate controller?
It's a chocolate controller. But the console, it works. It's just a skin, which makes sense because it looks like a big-ass chocolate bar now. So
Well, so, you know what disappoints me? You know what disappoints me? It's not covered in a gold foil, like the gold foil. Ticket.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's part of this Wonka movie yet, because this is a prequel. So
well, I mean,
I guess if it gets there, but I'm excited to see it though. I'm excited to see it.
Well, I mean, it's not a golden ticket, but like because remember the bar when Charlie Bucket opens it up, it has a candy wrapper, and then he sees the gold inside. He's like, oh shit.
No, I know. Yeah, but the thing is, that's all misleading for this one because Charlie Bucket's not in here. So if someone is watching this movie, they're like, well,
no, but I'm saying like how candy is, like if you open a candy bar, there's always foil in there.
Oh yeah, they could have done the foil.
The console is the chocolate bar. Then you need the foil on the outside to be like you open the candy bar.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Now that would have been kind of cool because right now, if you look at it, it's just like 4 squares. It looks like it's already been taken out of a wrapper, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, if it's just peeling, but people that have OCD, would want to peel the rest off. They can't leave it like that.
No, that's it. That's part of the thing. Like you wrap it in like tin foil like that, right? And you just like.
We don't know the packaging. Maybe it does come in a.
Maybe it does. Maybe. It's all about that experience.
Yeah. Question from J Shep. Adam, maybe you know about this. I haven't heard. Did you see the news about Game Pass on GeForce Now?
Oh yes, it's on there, or it's going to be on there. They announced it. They sent out an email. GeForce. That's coming. There's another now.
I thought it was already on there.
They said that they were launching it on there, but it didn't happen. But now it is. So
gotcha. Yeah, because I thought it was like, wait, wasn't it already on there?
No, because they said that they were going forward with it. Yeah. That they already made the agreement and that they were going forward. So I guess that still all the back end work was being done. But now, I think it's if it hasn't gone live or it's going live soon. But they sent an email.
So you're basically getting the best of both worlds, then.
Yeah, well, they're living up to what they said in the court case. They're like, hey, we're going to put this on everything. Now let's hear those Eastern European services. Let's see if they get theirs. Because that was the other thing. So,
and then the last thing of the night, we got to talk. This is funny. So Scalpers are now selling the PlayStation Portal. They're buying them and selling them at exorbitant costs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, we don't have the PS5s anymore. We got to get this shit now. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people buying this thing don't realize that it's not a mini PlayStation 5, that it's just a streaming fucking thing, like the Razer PC or something.
And your limit is how good your connection is.
Shoot, not even, because one of the things that they discovered is that even if, let's say, you go to the airport or Starbucks or anywhere where they have open Wi-Fi, there's always that terms of use that you have to accept to get in. But that device doesn't have a browser. So you can't even connect to a free open Wi-Fi because there's no browser on the device. So you can't even utilize that feature.
Yeah, like there's some places that have fully free Wi-Fi where you just connect. Yeah. But other than like most places have that thing where you have to go into the browser. Like you can't go to a Starbucks and do it or any other place. But
and then that's something about the code. That was the other thing that some people were talking about. That the activation code that you get has a timer on it. So I don't know how long it is, but they said
that they did find a browser.
They found a browser because by default they said they didn't, and IGN ripped it for that. Yeah, saying that they didn't have a browser.
The IGN guy said it wasn't. Yeah,
a lot of outlets were saying there was no browser, but hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But now we just have to find out if it's true about that the short window for the activation. So let's say if you're using it and then you go to your friend's house and then you try to log in to your PlayStation 5 from his Wi-Fi, it's going to then prompt a code that needs to be picked up from the PS5 end. So if someone's at home, then they have to turn it on to give you that code so you can reactivate. Sort of like how some of these streaming services will give you a quick timeout, maybe like a week or something or a day. It's something like that, but apparently it's really short. It's a few hours.
Damn. So. Okay, so Tom's Guide, where I work, we reviewed this thing.
Okay.
I've never seen a score this low.
Oh, really?
2 out of 5. That is basically there's no redeeming value here. Basically, I'm gonna list the pro. This is written by Nick Pino. He's our TV editor. So pros: large 8-inch screen, triggers, and haptic feedback. Those are the only pros. Here are the cons.
Okay.
Unwieldy to hold. constant latency issues, selective Bluetooth support. We talked about that before, and no way to stream videos.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that last part. That's pretty bad.
No, you can't. You also can't adjust the quality of the video that's being streamed on your thing.
Yeah. Either. And I gotta read Ed Gadget's headline because it's fucking hilarious, man. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Ed Gadget, PlayStation Portal review. A baffling handheld for no one but Sony diehards. Yes, it's a lie. Damn.
I mean, to be honest, I also think that even Sony diehards wouldn't care for it either.
I don't know. I knew a few that I talked to today that they were all hyped. Oh, mine's is in the mail, or mine's is arriving tomorrow.
I don't think these guys understand that. I think they don't know what it is. 5 games locally on it. I don't think they understand that. This is a fucking streaming device, guys.
It's a streaming device. To be honest, if you like, I know like a lot of people are like, oh well, because for using the television in the living room, we'll use this PlayStation Portal. I mean, theoretically, you can do that anywhere. You can kind of do it on the Steam Deck.
You could do it. You could do it. You could do it on an iPad. Even was it? One of these outlets. Tested did it. They said the best experience is on an iPad. It was like,
they said the best experience is on an iPad, so it's better than
What I found interesting about some of the reviews is some people like us. We said the Wi-Fi or the connection's bad, but then Wired here is saying it's good. So I think it depends on your local connection.
It depends on a lot of things: your connection, your router, how much traffic. Are you the only one using it?
Yeah, actually, I've been hearing. Sorry, I've been hearing different things from different people, but the main one has been if your PS5 is wired or not. As most of the people that I've heard that are having issues, it's because their PS5 is wireless to the router. So
that could do it.
Maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, like I have my and this is just running through my local network. I have my PlayStation 5 wired.
Oh, it's all my
and my PlayStation 4 is in the room and it's not wired. I played, did the remote page to my PlayStation 5, and there's a shitload of latency, fucking all kinds of connection losses and all kinds of stuff. And this is in the same house. Everything else seems to be running through Wi-Fi fine, but for some reason this thing don't seem to get it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So going back to the real thing. So scalpers are now selling this thing at exorbitant prices, and people are buying, but they're fucking dumb. Because they think it's a portable PlayStation for $200.
Yeah, I'm surprised the scalpers. I'm surprised that the scalpers didn't get on top of the PlayStation 5. But then again, you could the PlayStation 5 Slim.
Well, because you can find it anywhere. It's not hard to find.
It's not hard to find, but I'm surprised they didn't jump on that one.
Yeah,
I want to see the description. What are they saying about it on eBay? Let's see. If any of these scalpers are on there.
The hottest shit ever. Play your PlayStation 5 games on the go.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they say that.
You already know those fucking grifters, man.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Portal. Get the Steam Deck.
Does anybody in the
get
chat?
The Steam Deck OLED is fucking awesome.
It's going for $450.
They're crazy. They're crazy.
Mm-hmm. Double the price. Nobody's going to pay for that.
Let me click on it and see this.
So does anybody in the chat own it? Or did you guys skip it?
Anybody in the chat? Are you guys planning on getting the PS Portal? Anybody in the chat? I think generally they said no last time.
I think they were all pretty much laughing at it.
Yeah, they laughed.
What is this garbage?
What is this bullshit, Mr. David?
What is this bullshit?
Bullet said, "Fuck no."
Yeah, Tumek is like really PlayStation, whatever. I'm playing.
J Chef says, "Hell no." No,
yeah, right?
It's just no. Like no.
See, here's the thing. Y'all didn't fall for the rope-a-dope or whatever the hell that garbage is.
They didn't want that.
Release a new. Come on, man, release a real fucking handheld instead of this garbage. But again, toe dipping like Sony does. Like they didn't want to commit to essentially making a new handheld or something that could maybe effectively play some of their games in like a low quality mode or something like that. Like
remote play handheld. That's all they're saying.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's a Razer Kishi, man.
That's all they're saying.
Yeah, man.
Did you read the article from PlayStation Lifestyle?
Did they give it a 10 out of 10?
No, it's just kind of funny.
What would they say?
According to a Japanese site, I'll make sure to get the guy's position right. Okay, it doesn't say. But one of the people that works at PlayStation apparently said that this PlayStation Portal was not designed to make a profit. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is just marketing speak for this thing ain't selling, or no one wants this thing, which is a big surprise.
They knew.
What's up?
What is it designed for?
Yeah, I just to release something, just to have.
I don't know. Maybe
like, we released it to please our customer. No, that's not.
The quote is. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Quote is, rather than profitability, we want to increase the amount of time we can play with PS5. If you can play anywhere, I think some people will definitely spend more time playing games.
And this is from a Sony executive?
You can't play anywhere. Yeah.
Hold on, Brian. Sony executive said this.
Yes, I'm trying to find out his position.
Okay.
He's going to get fired.
It's nothing now.
He's Sony Interactive Entertainment's Senior Vice President of Platform Experience. Hideki Nishino.
Yeah, following in the illustrious history of that title.
Senior Vice President of Customer Experience?
No, of Platform Experience.
Of Platform Experience.
I just posted a link there in the chat so you can read more. Obviously, it links to a Japanese site.
It sounds like the PlayStation Portal had a bunch of tech. That had a bunch of screens and
they're making up fucking titles now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that title is just word salad.
It really is. Like, okay, you just made that. I'll stop. I was about to get myself in trouble with other titles that are also bullshit. But those people have been laid off, so that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, I'm not gonna say it, Brian. I think you know what I'm hinting at. Anyway,
can I have a fancy title for the podcast?
What would you like to be called?
Oh, I need
to the senior.
Get that much bullshit.
Senior executive.
Senior editor of bullshit.
Senior executive of soapboxes. There you go.
Senior executive of soapboxes. Or soapbox emeritus or some shit like that,
See, everybody should get some crazy titles, and you put that in description. We got 18 years senior executive.
Well, by the way, completely off topic. So Snoop Dogg just tweeted out that he's stopped smoking weed, and I'm like, is he so high? Is he so high that he thinks it's April Fool's? Like,
okay, telling you, simulation. We live in a goddamn simulation.
It's crazy. All right. Anyway, let's get out of here, Ben. Fucking crazy.
Man, I stopped smoking weed.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go through this with my family.
It's been taking over my life, yo. I saw my daughter was smoking it. I was like, nah, man.
I got a bunch of kids.
Actually, remember that Snoop Dogg reality show on MTV from like 10 years ago? There was this. I just tuned into it randomly. It was fucking hilarious. So Snoop Dogg was in a dark room watching soccer, eating fried chicken. Right, his wife comes in, yells at him, takes a bucket of chicken away, and then like when she leaves, he looks over his shoulder, pulls out another bucket of chicken from under the couch.
Don't tell me that wasn't a set piece.
He just looked like, oh, yo, she gone. Pulls out another bucket of chicken. It was fucking great. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Fizzle Televizzle. That was it. But he still sip on gin and juice. He's not going to be smoking endo though. But yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe we'll actually see him gain some weight. Maybe Snoop Dogg will get fat. After in a few years.
Like, I got to go back to smoking, man. I'm getting too fat.
I don't know. Maybe there could be some sort of underlining health issue that's happening with it.
He was at last year's WrestleMania. He performed. Yeah.
Did he fight?
He saved the day. It was just to do a spot in the ring, just like a talking spot. Yeah. And Shane McMahon ripped his quads in the ring and collapsed.
Oh, shit.
And they were like, oh, everybody's standing there. And he just like took advantage of it and gave him an elbow and started beating on him. And then he pinned him. It was weird. But, he had to save the spot. But he was quick on his feet with that. So,
yeah. All right, man. Let's start wrapping things up here. So the Invincible podcast will return. As I learned, episode 2, we never did a podcast for it. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to do 2 and 3, episodes 2 and 3. So that'll be fun. So join us on Saturday. So that'll be me, Brett, Carlos, Dana, Richard, and maybe Chris. So that'll be fun. So stay tuned for that. And also, I don't do this too often, but I got to plug some of my work because it is related to you guys. Watch out for my reviews of the Lenovo Legion Go and the Steam Deck OLED, both of which I have, gone hands-on with. There's the reviews will be going up hopefully next week before Thanksgiving, but if not, maybe after Thanksgiving. But those will be coming. Got some good stuff for you guys. And Adam, what's going on with the Negan podcast?
We were just talking about that before, about shows that double up, and they're doing it. This is it. Yeah. This week is a double 2 episodes. It's it. It's the last one. It's the last run for the show. This is the series finale. This is it. So we'll be covering that hopefully before the holiday. But yeah, that's the last episode. What was it? 11 and 12. Both for Fear the Walking Dead. So yeah, if you want to hear how this ends, if you care, most people don't. A lot of people do like it and comment and bitch about it because that's what we've been doing. We're doing a lot of bitching, and no surprise, that's what the internet likes. You like to hear when people are upset. Man. So, and that's it. Myself, Rich Bailey Jr., and Carlos, and we'll be covering that. So check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. What's it all about?
Yeah. All right, people, you already know, man. Make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. And as always, thank you guys for posting those stories. I always get those. Everything we talk about on these shows is from you guys on the Discord. So it's always very, very appreciated. Because that means I don't have to go hunting for shit, And thank you, and thank you, Blitz, for explaining what the Xbox tax was. I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? We're also on every podcast app. You already know, Throwdown Show, 2 words, Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and like the videos, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, Aaron. Yeah.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
Seriously, who did ask for Madden Web film? Because I have no idea.
I have no idea. No fucking.
For that matter, who asked for Craven?
Yeah, that's another one. They're gonna team up. Again, you're making these movies without Spider-Man. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh no, there's a Spider-Man in Madam Web.
Oh, there is a Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
A Spider-Man. Well, no, there's 3 Spider-Women and a Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like how there's like 3 Spider-Women. So it's like, you really didn't learn how well 3 female main cat. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just move on.
So, it's Ezekiel, by the way.
Oh, Ezekiel? Look, good for them. When is Chris coming back? Chris comes back when he comes back, bro.
Yeah, Chris has got dad issues. So, whenever he feels ready, he come back.
Yeah.
He needs to cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.